And do you think that can happen before the end of the year?
Well, we'll see. We're working with Congress and we're providing what we call technical assistance to them regarding legislation to make sure that they're staying on what makes sense and that meshes with other laws and whatnot. And but we'll see. I can't prognosticate that, but we have enough authority to drive forward. I'm looking forward to having an innovation exemption that we've been talking about now. We'll be able to get that out in a month or so, is what I'm hoping. We were impeded a bit by the government shutdown. Obviously, we couldn't work on things during that time, but we're on track and we will be able to forge forward with a crypto area and make sure that we are able to embrace this new area of innovation that for too long the United States basically has just pushed back against. And
Hey, what's going on, Bull Runners? Welcome back to the channel. For years, we've been watching builders, innovators like those at Ripple get tangled up in endless red tape, pushing groundbreaking ideas overseas, while U.S. markets sit on the sidelines, bleeding out talent and billions in potential growth. What if I told you that's all flipping right now with a single regulatory shift that's about to unlock the floodgates for compliant innovation, faster token launches, and real competition that could supercharge our portfolios before the new year hits? Stick around because today's headlines are delivering that exact blueprint. And we'll be heading over to X to find out the breaking news in crypto today. Trump is hitting at Kevin Hassett for the Fed chair. Lawmakers stumble on the stablecoin terms as U.S. Congress grills Fed's Bowman. Everyone's getting fired up about XRP surging yesterday, but is it premature? We're going to be jumping into the charts. We're going to be looking at areas of support and resistance for XRP. Plus, we'll be looking at the short term and the long-term momentum waves that you need to know about, and so much more in today's video. If you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day doing crypto research, well, that is what we do for you on this channel. So make sure you subscribe right now. And if you are still feeling bullish about this current bull run, let us know by commenting 777 down below.
Do you love crypto, but are you worried about taxes shrinking your retirement nest egg? Here's the deal. Trading and selling crypto can trigger capital gains taxes eating into your wealth. A crypto IRA fixes that. Per IRS publication 590B, traditional IRA gains like those from crypto aren't taxed until distributed. That's why we've partnered with iTrust Capital, a leading crypto IRA company in the USA, to sponsor today's video. And they offer institutional grade custody for retail clients that want to set up their crypto IRAs for retirement, leveraging top storage solutions like Fidelity, Wells Fargo, and Coinbase Prime to keep your assets secure. To get started, simply click the link in the description of this video, sign up for free, and fund your account with cash. They also offer 401k rollovers or crypto transfers, and you can trade 24/7 with just 1% transaction fees and no maintenance costs. As always, I'm not a CPA or financial advisor, so consult one for tax advice, and we do earn a commission if you sign up using our link below to fund your crypto IRA account, but that helps support value-based videos like this. And iTrust Capital already has over 200,000 crypto IRA accounts and over $14 billion in transactions, proving they're trusted by smart investors just like you. So click the link below, get started now by funding your account today, and let's create generational wealth together.
First up, we're heading over to CoinMarketCap, checking out the overall health of the crypto market today. Massive surge in the last 24 hours. We're currently trading at $3.13 trillion total market cap. That's up 6.35%. $159 billion worth of trading volume in the last 24 hours, pushing us up closer and closer to getting back to that $3.2 trillion resistance level. Fear and greed index has officially climbed out of extreme fear. We're now 22 out of 100 in regular fear. Altcoin season index still not doing well. However, 20 out of 100 still full on Bitcoin season. And it is official, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin dominance has broken above 59% again. So for those of you waiting for altcoin season, we have put the brakes on again. Another waiting game has started. Heading over the top 6 cryptos by total market cap. Number 1, Bitcoin climbing all the way up to 92,900. Number 1, Ethereum number 2 at 3,035. Tether at number 3 at $1. XRP at number 4 at $2.18. BNB at number 5 at $887, and climbing back up into the top 6. Solana overtaking USDC at $140. As we saw in the intro of the video, Jack the Rippler posting breaking SEC chair Paul Atkins announces on CNBC that innovation exemption for crypto firms like Ripple will be implemented starting in January. CoinMarketCap also posting that the SEC Chair Paul Atkins says the agency's had enough authority to advance crypto regulation without waiting for Congress and plans to unveil an innovation exemption for digital asset projects within a month. So a couple of massive things have been happening in the last 48 hours as far as the current administration. One, politically, Trump seems to be stepping back into the arena, putting on the boxing gloves and taking on the deep state. And at the same time, his financial analysts and financial business whizzes on the administration are starting to take charge again with the financial side of things. Finally, looks like the SEC has grown a pair and is going to actually move forward with what they've been promising us for over a year. On top of that, we also have Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent coming out and panicking the Democrats, confirming that in 2026, we're going to see a very substantial tax refund, real wage increases, and he thinks 2026 will be a fantastic year, which we've all been waiting for because we've all had hopes in 2025 that we would be able to experience some of those things. And now today, even Polymarket, who is generally ahead of the curve, they're ahead of everything in the future because people are betting on both sides of each scenario. Well, guess what? That they've just posted. And when they post something, they usually have some good insights on it. Trump says he is abolishing income tax. Now, he had campaigned on this, getting rid of the IRS, bringing in the ERS or External Revenue Service. And now he's actually trying to make it happen because the tariffs have done so well. But let's have a listen to what Scott Bessent says here.
The president's been a great year on the economy, but the best is yet to come. The tens of trillions of dollars that have come in investment, both the portfolio investment by companies, investment by countries, that it's turning into a CapEx boom for the U.S. Capital expenditures up 15% in history. When CapEx is up, jobs will follow. The one big beautiful bill is incredible, as you said, thanks to your leadership, along with Speaker Johnson, Senator Witherspoon, we had that done on July 4th, which everyone said was impossible. And the great thing about that bill served for the American people, it's for industry, 100% expensing, build your factory here, you can write it off immediately, but you also insisted on the 4 benefits for working people: no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, auto deductibility for American cars. And that is retroactive. So as a result, in 2026, we are going to see very substantial tax refunds in the first quarter. So the best way to address the affordability crisis is to give Americans more money in their pockets, which is what this bill has done. We're going to see real wage increases. I think next year is going to be a fantastic year. Taxes, deregulation, energy certainty. That's why everyone with your leadership is coming to America. Bond market had its best year since 2020. Everyone said couldn't be done. So we're going to have growth. We've had 2 4% quarters before the Schumer shutdown. We're going to go back to that. So not only are we going to have great growth, but it's going to be low inflationary growth. And stock market obviously is following, but next year is going to be the year for Main Street as all this kicks in. And you came in, immigration, I called it the 3 I's: immigration, interest rates, and inflation, that were killing the American people. Close the border. The promise kept. Interest rates are down, and 10-year bond, again, best year since 2020. And inflation led by energy prices is going to roll next year. I think it's going to be a fantastic year. We can look back, be very proud of this year, but I think 2026 is going to be great.
So I was having a really good talk earlier this afternoon with Crypto Dad JR about this very scenario, because we're always discussing, what's going on in the markets. Why are people freaking out a little bit? Why are the markets tanking? So on and so forth. And the reality is we had a very blunt conversation about what's going on, and no one has money. Okay. So unless you're like really rich already in crypto or in your business, people this year were struggling. I mean, people are pissed off, and rightfully so. A lot of these so-called big, beautiful bill terms are going to have future impacts, but no one is feeling that right now. Lots of people are behind on their mortgage. They're behind on their credit cards. They're behind on everything. So we need to get into 2026 so people can start actually receiving these funds that they're supposed to be receiving. Then they'll have actual expendable money. What do you think they're going to do with that money? Well, they're going to put it places. And finally, when we finally get enough flow, liquidity, when we get these potential Trump $2,000 stimulus checks or rebates and whatever you want to call them, or dividends, because they might be coming every single year, people are going to look to put money in places that they hope are going to do well, and that is crypto. That's what happened during COVID stimulus. They put it in crypto. If we can get stimulus again. Now, a lot of people out there on the internet are complaining and whining, oh my God, stimulus is just going to inflate everything. Yes, that is correct. It's going to inflate. So your house is going to go up. All your assets are going to go up. So don't go and blow your $2,000 on stupid stuff. Buy hard assets. Crypto, gold, silver, and so on. Now, it's not financial advice. Do not buy or sell anything we talk about on the channel, but do your research and figure out what is a hard asset and look for places to store that money. Now, one of those 3 I's that he mentioned in there was interest rates, and they have not come down. I mean, they're creeping down. They're coming down 0.25% every couple of months. 25 basis points ain't crap. We need a big, giant dump for sure. And Trump hasn't confirmed who he will have replaced Jerome Powell. Too late, Jerome Powell next year, but 2 recent hints take together point to this crypto-friendly advisor. During that same meeting we just saw, when Trump introduced a special guest, he said, I'm welcoming Hassett as a potential Fed chair. He went on to say, it's a great group in here, and I guess a potential Fed chair is here too. I don't know. Are we allowed to even say that, potential? He's a respected person that I can tell you. Thank you, Kevin. And the Kobayashi letter posting it as well. This was another meeting they had that day. President Trump effectively announces Kevin Hassett will be the next Fed chair. 2026 is going to be a wild year. Are you guys ready to get rich? Because that's what he is proclaiming. We do know that the billionaires made multi-billion dollars more. Now it needs to come to Main Street, which is actually what Scott Bessent said in his speech there as well. And as we see over here on Kalshi, another betting site or prediction market, we can see just a couple of days ago, it started to spike with Kevin Hassett here, who will be Trump's nominate Fed chair. Kevin Warsh, Kevin Hassett, or Scott Bessent. Currently, Kevin is the director of the National Economic Council. He's regarded to be crypto-friendly with $1 million stake in Coinbase and having overseen the Digital Asset Working Group. Hassett is one of the many candidates being explored for the leadership of Fed Jerome Powell term set to end in May of 2026. Scott Bessent was asked last month, what are we looking for in a leader of the Fed? He said, I think it's time for the Fed to just move back into the background like it used to do, calm things down, and work for the American people. Now, obviously, the Fed doesn't have direct impact on crypto, but when they lower rates, generally that serves to boon well for crypto. And Hassett has previously criticized the Fed's rate policy for being way too high. So you may be wondering, well, what will this do for me? Why should I care? Well, lower rates mean more liquidity flowing into Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and all of the other altcoins, potentially sparking the next bull leg that we haven't really had yet. We have not had that euphoria season. And if he lands it, watch for the markets to price in cuts sooner, lifting everything from DeFi yields to meme coin pumps. So lawmakers still have no idea what the heck crypto is. And when they were grilling the Federal Reserve's Bowman, it was very obvious here. So during the meeting, however, according to Bowman's comments at the conference, she referenced digital assets rather than specifically cryptocurrencies. And the questioning turned into Lynch asking Bowman about distinctions between digital assets and stablecoins. Bowman, the Fed official, said that the central bank had been authorized by Congress, specifically the Genius Act, a bill aimed at regulatory payment stablecoins, to explore a framework for digital assets. Bowman said in August that the staff at the Fed should be permitted to hold a small amount of crypto or other digital assets to gain an understanding of the technology. So here we have a body of people that are trying to regulate against something that they literally don't even know what it is or how to use it. But during it, Bowman stayed cool, clarifying that under the Genius Act, the Fed's teaming up with other regulators to roll out capital, liquidity, and reserve rules for issuers by early next year. No more Wild West. Think dollar for dollar backing and bank level oversight to keeping things stable. But here's why you should care though. Stable coins like USDT, USDC, and RLUSD power over $150 billion in daily trades and are the backbone for crypto payments. Clear rules mean banks can jump in without fear, blending TradFi with blockchain for faster, safer global transfers. But the confusion right now, it highlights how fragmented regulators are. So if we fix this and we get adoption, we get mainstream adoption. But if we botch it and volatility spikes for everyday users, it's obviously about trust. So no more DPEGs like Terra's crash, just reliable rails that could make your next remittance or DeFi swap feel like a Venmo on steroids. So hopping over into XRP in the charts here, as we've been talking about, we do have a very strong support down here at $1.90, which was our most recent local bottom. We are rallying up on the news from Vanguard yesterday, announcing that Vanguard will be allowing their clients to actually partake in ETFs, Bitcoin, Ethereum, potentially XRP. We have not gotten the official word on that just yet. When we head over here and take a look at the XRP ETF terminal, spot volume today in the last 24 hours, $41 million on spot. Leverage volume, $50 million. So another $90 million worth of volume coming in. But as we can see, that's from Grayscale, Franklin Templeton, Bitwise, Canary, Rex Osprey. We don't even have the Vanguard ETF launch out there for XRP just yet. But regardless, we did have a nice surge yesterday, taking out the day before's candle. We're continuing to surge to the upside right now. We're on the daily charts looking at this, $2.18. We are back above the 10 exponential moving average, which is positive. Last time, we could not break above the 30 exponential moving average. So we're waiting for that. That would be a break above $2.22. After that, I do see a surge. If that can happen, bullish wise, we see a surge up into $2.33 area where we're going to see potential rejection. Now, if we reject from here at the 30 or up here at 233, the potential of coming back, our next level of support is $1.90. So keep that $1.90 in play. Now, what's also really nice, when we take a look at our 12-hour charts here, our 12-hour 1100 exponential moving average has now been used as a support. You can see it literally bounced off of there and is rallying from that level. Short-term momentum right here, the short-term momentum. Red has now flashed green. And we do need to see continuation here. There's still 8 hours left in this, but if we can see this candle close green above $2.24, we would really see some great momentum coming in here on the 12-hour, just like we saw back here. We can see we were flat, and then it turned green, rallied up, and we had a nice rally. Unfortunately, failed at the 50 last time, but this could be the chance to finally break through here. And we are just now starting to get that momentum on the short-term momentum. Mid-term momentum, however, is also turning up, which is positive. In fact, it's bouncing right off the 25 level. So in the short term, we're going to go through all the different time frames, but we're still bearish. You know, realistically, yes, it's exciting. There's been some good news and whatnot, but am I adding back to my position yet? No, right? So again, not financial advice, but as we can see, we were red. All of this happened during red. This is still red right here. We tried to peak up into above zero. We tried to flash green here on the 12-hour above the zero line. Didn't stay there, unfortunately. But we are rallying right now. In the next 24 to 48 hours, we will know if our 12-hour builds some momentum back above there. But let's flash through this. Weekly, short-term, and mid-term momentum have zeroed out. It is ready for a rally back up to the 100 level. We'll continue to keep you updated when and if that happens. But we are not seeing the turn to the upside just yet. Last time we had a turn, look at this. Last time we had the turn, when it flashed, let's turn off mid-term momentum. Short-term momentum cranks up here on the weekly charts. Price ran from $2.02 to its new all-time high of $3.66. So we're waiting for this to flash green again. Unfortunately, long-term momentum has turned red. So there's some bearish long-term energy. It's relatively recent, so that could also flip. That's going to take 2 to 3 weeks for us to get confirmation, though. So we need 2 to 3 weeks of solid bullish green momentum to the upside for XRP. So long-term bearish on the weekly. 3-day bearish, starting to turn up a little. Daily, bearish. It's getting close. Like I said, 24 to 48 hours here, it could pop back above and go bullish. Last time you can see it was running red, finally popped up, boom. Something to keep in mind on the weekly charts as well going back, we did have this massive bearish divergence. There's going to be a trend line here. So we'll see if when we turn up and we start to make that rally here, can we break this level and continue on the weekly charts? Back to daily, it's trying to make the move to the upside. 12-hour, it's literally there, right? So like I said, 24 to 48 hours, we should get some good news. 4-hour. The 4-hour chart is about to break back bullish here. Short-term momentum, though, is starting to peak out again. And as you can see, last time it ran up, peaked out. It still had a little bit of rally left in it, but unfortunately, it cycled back down and failed. 1 hour has flipped bullish here. Short-term momentum. This is really short-term, guys, the hourly, so don't get too excited. But as we can see, long-term momentum-wise on the short-term time frame, we're back to bullish. And our 1 hour time frame here is about to reset. And this is a perfect example of what I always like to show. When we are running bullish, there's bullish momentum. There's bullish energy on this 1 hour time frame. Even though we had a short-term momentum reset back to the zero line before it makes another rally up, this is where price can consolidate, right? So we see price ran up, and then during this massive pullback of this short-term momentum wave, it only traded sideways, which is very nice. We're staying above that 10 exponential moving average. And if we look here, watch for XRP price with some momentum continuing this carry to $2.31. That's where our 1100 exponential moving hour on the hourly is above us. Now let's take a look at the 30-minute. We've ran into it. So that's why we are not surging to the upside. Right now, we're basically bouncing off the 30-minute 1100 exponential moving average. Last time we got here, it tried to break, failed, tried to break, failed, tried to break, failed, and then ultimately failed back down along with the long-term momentum. The positive news this time, though, on the 30-minute, we have a lot more positive energy on our Wolfpack indicator to the upside. So we'll continue monitoring this. Like I said, higher time frames right now, unfortunately bearish until we see the 12-hour cross with some actual momentum, some volume, velocity coming behind it. This move could ultimately fail. And then obviously, as you know, I always talk about fair value gaps here. There's also a fair value gap right here. It just created one that last 12-hour candle. So if price were to come back to the 12-hour 1100 exponential moving average again, or $2.03. So downside targets, 203 or $1.90. And then we'll reevaluate from there. Upside targets, $2.33, which is our spider line. After we surge through that, we could likely move all the way up into $2.44 or $2.46. That's where our 2-hour 1100 exponential moving average. After we break above that one, then watch for 251. Then the 4-hour is sitting at 251 as well. If you would like to learn how to day trade, read the charts, do some day trading with using other people's money, take a look at this.
What if you could trade with $100,000 without ever risking any of your own capital? Well, I'm doing it right now, trading a 100K funded account with zero of my own money on the line. I just paid a one-time evaluation fee to take a trading test. That's it. Because everyone's been asking us, how do I get crypto loans? Or how do you leverage trade without risking any of your own capital? Well, that's exactly why we're leveraging Breakout, which is a crypto prop trading firm recently acquired by Kraken with over 10 million clients, 2.5 million funded accounts, and over $1.5 billion in revenue in 2024 alone. They will fund you up to $200,000 after passing one simple trading test, and you get to keep up to 90% of the profit, and you can withdraw in USDC 24/7 after passing the trading test through the link in the description of this video. Now, here's the problem that I've seen most people face. Let's say you're trading with $10,000 of your own money. That's your rent, that's your groceries, that's an emergency fund, and one bad trade or black swan event, and poof, your account is completely blown. Rent's late, savings is wiped, and your family is stressed out. So you're not trading to win. Trading your own money is trading for survival, whereas trading with 100K of risk-free capital is freedom. In fact, if you only have $10,000, you should never be trading with all of that. Instead, if you took just 10%, which is $1,000, and you buy the 100K or the 200K breakout test, and you pass the test, well, you're going to be trading with 6 figures without depositing or risking any of your own money. This is what I'm doing right now. And if you fail the test, you only lose $1,000 instead of your $10,000 because you shouldn't even be trading with $10,000 of your own money in the first place if you can't pass a simple $1,000 trading test. And the best part is there's no limit on retries. So that $1,000 can give you 10 shots at a 100K account if you fail the first few. That's 10x better risk management. And that's how you prove you actually know what you're doing. And this is the smartest strategy that the best traders in the world use. That's OPM, other people's money. You pass the test, you trade Kraken's money, and you get to keep up to 90% of the profits. And you can withdraw USDC on demand 24/7. So I paid, I passed, and now I'm trading 100K, and it only cost me $1,000 rather than risking $100,000 of my own money. And now it's your turn. So do not buy the small test. You're here to scale your portfolio fast. So here's exactly what you need to do right now. I left a link in the description of this video, and when you click it and select the classic one-step 100K or 200K account test, you simply click start trading, and then you enter in the affiliate code 777 on your checkout to get the maximum discount on your 100K or 200K funded account. And make sure to check the add-on box for the 90% profit split. It's only $100 extra. It pays for itself in your first payout, and if you skip it, you're leaving 10% on the table forever, so it's well worth it. Then you simply pay for the test, you pass it, you have an unlimited time frame, and you get to keep up to 90% of the profits. And again, you can withdraw in USDC anytime that you want after you pass the test. That's it. Now, we do earn a small commission when you use our code 777, but it supports value-based videos like this, and it'll help you get the maximum discount on your 100K or 200K funded account test. So click the link in the description right now, take the test, and let's get you funded.